Are you in love with your story at the very beginning? If the answer is yes, you are not yet prepared to be a good writer. Hello and welcome once again. This is Dul Johnson's Creative Talks, and my name is Dul Johnson. I have a bag of mistakes writers should not do, but today I want to share just 4 with you. And the first is to say, do not fall in love with your story, especially the first draft of your story. When that happens, you lose the opportunity to share your draft with people and to get critiques or criticism and contributions that can make your story far, far, far better than what you would have to offer. Yes, you are the author, you are the writer, but you are not the master of all writing. There are so many good people who are not writers that can share in your idea and help you make your story better. Mistake number 2. It is important that you think through your story. Allow what I might call a gestation period, right? Allow the idea to, ferment in your head like good wine before you begin to put pen on paper. If you do not do that, if you rush into writing, that is a mistake, and you are going to have probably a very loose story. The reason is that you need to see your story from point A to point Z. You need to even think of the number of events. Of course, nothing says it's going to remain like that. You will be able to change as you write. But there is a need for you to think first, because it gives you a picture of what you really want, the story to be like. So you'll be able to put down the events one after the other, okay? But as you write, you may change, you may add, you may even shift, switch one from one point to another. But what is important is that you already have a firm picture and movement, the flow of your story before you begin. So please allow the story. I'm not saying if an idea strikes you, you should not put it down. That's not the point. But ideas are not stories. Ideas are ideas, right? Until you turn them into a story. So even this gestation period is a moment that can help you, or is the period that you can firm up the idea, in form of a story, or at least a storyline for the beginning. So that is a mistake you should not make. Always allow that period to happen. Mistake number 3. Perhaps I have learned from my own experience. A good number of, especially beginner writers or learner writers, want to sound big. That is what they call pedantry in writing, right? You want to use big words, you want to use high-sounding words, you want to prove that you have arrived, okay? That, very often, you find out that even the word that you have used actually does not mean what you are trying to say at that point. So, that is a mistake. Write as you think, and write in the language that you know how to communicate with. Of course, rewrites will improve your story, but keep it at the level of your communication. Do not try to make your story sound higher than you are. That is a big mistake. When you do that, your story sounds fake or false. Try not to do that. Mistake number 4. This also, I have come across it too many times, especially with beginner writers. The use of adjectives, especially weak or dead adjectives. I would like to describe them. Yes, it is true that adjectives help you, to describe maybe a place, a setting, or even to develop a picture of the character in the head of your reader. But an overuse of adjectives is actually very bad for your story, right? There is no reason. I mean, you sometimes make your reader feel as if you think that they are unintelligent, and that is what you should not do. If you have presented the character to me as a reader as a strong person, for example, who breaks bones wherever he goes, there's no need for you to, at every moment, tell me he does this strongly, or he does this hardly, or he does this, those kind of words. They don't help your story. Tell the story in active verbs and, with strong narrative, and leave it at that. Do not try to paint it or color it with adjectives. That will be a big mistake, especially the overuse of adjectives.